we're back with Minding Your Business on New Stock 1380, and the music has gone and gone, but here we are with Mr. Chris Spiker from AV Florist.
Thanks, Kenny. Hey, you know, when you're announcing, you can't cheer also. I don't know if that's going to work, but I appreciate it. You know, look what I got. I got off the Palmdale, California website. It's Ruth and Carrie. They said, this is how we roll. There's some kind of contest. I got to read all the rules. Anyhow, Jake Nelson.
What's going on?
You're in town.
I know. It's pretty much a whirlwind.
Thanks for the cup, buddy.
Absolutely.
This is awesome.
Gotta have an official Tone Wrangler coffee mug.
So you landed LAX. You're a pilot now.
I am. It's pretty cool. I'm based out of Los Angeles International now, which is a whole jungle in itself. It's just insane all the time.
Well, we know that on this side of the counter.
Yeah. Well, even more so on our side. It's pretty happening place, that's for sure.
I got to tell you, I keep thinking of Leonardo DiCaprio when I see you flying.
Well, catch me while you can.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You got the ID. You got the hat. Come on.
You know what? I'll tell you, the first month that I was working the line, I definitely was like, they're going to find out that they're going to find me out. But now I've gotten to the point where, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I just love every minute of it. I'm having such a blast.
And your airline is?
I work for one of the leading regional airlines in the country. That's what I'm allowed to say. So,
oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we do. I'm
going to dig a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay.
Later. So there was an article in the paper this morning about the new pilots that just have a tough time getting hours to qualify to be pilots. The people coming up.
It is, and it's a pretty recent rule change by the FAA. Whereas before, in order to be a first officer, so the co-pilot, as many people refer to it, you used to only have to earn about 300 hours of experience before you can go work for the airlines, right?
300 hours and he's flying the plane?
Right. So,
wow.
And that was the old rule. So now the FAA has come along and changed it where you need 1,500 hours. Which basically that puts you at the same requirements to be a captain. So now the captain and the first officer are basically equally qualified in terms of experience before you're able to set foot.
How much does it cost a young person to go get an hour of experience?
Well, it depends on the type of airplane, obviously, but your basic trainer, like a Cessna 172, about $110 an hour.
Wow.
If you were renting it yourself, of course.
So think what a great golfer you'd be by now.
Yeah, it's a lot, but once you've gotten through your training and you've earned your commercial pilot certificate, I went on to become an instructor pilot. So I actually worked out at Edwards Air Force Base for their Aero Club and instructed there and did some various flying jobs here and there, and that's how I earned my hours that way. So
I get just worn out following you on Facebook.
It's pretty crazy,
yeah.
But it's so cool to have such a supportive valley behind me, and I love keeping everybody updated and the latest adventures, and it's a blast.
Yeah, so when you were discovered, you were 6 years old and you were playing music in a bar, and and Ingrid walked in there, and it just took off from there, I think.
Well, it's funny because Rich and Liz Barreau, formerly of the AV Press, take credit with finding me. And it was really cool. It was this, I'd been singing karaoke since I was a little guy. I grew up in Lake Elizabeth, and the Rock Inn up there, every Wednesday after T-ball practice, they would have all-you-can-eat spaghetti and karaoke, right? So that was kind of my first exposure, like how I started to sing. We were at the AV Fair. I was probably 8-ish, and there's this announcer on the stage, and they're like, "Hey, our band canceled. If anyone wants to get up here and sing, go for it." So Mom hightailed into the parking lot to get the karaoke CDs out of the car, and I sang, and they invited me back the next day, and it ended up being Rich and Liz that stopped by and watched and introduced me to Ingrid and Ingrid Chapman of Chapman Communications, and just been awesome. So many awesome opportunities they've given me over the years, and from the smallest gigs to amazing, I appreciate every single one of them. They've absolutely formed me into not only the singer and performer, but the person that I am today.
Right. All of that time in front of people and on stage really gives you a presence, which helps in everything you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. And it gives them the confidence and the ability to go, yeah, I can do this. This look out, world, here we come.
I liked when we were talking about coming on the show. You said, "Hey, I don't have anything to promote," and I thought, well, you just look in the camera and tell them who you are, and someone will find you in Discovery. And it's not about you got to come out Thursday and buy a ticket. No, it's like, oh, that's Jake Nelson. Oh yeah, okay, I got it.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, for those of you, hi, how you doing? I'm Jacob Nelson. The singer is Jacob Nelson. And I'm with the band The Tone Wranglers, and I've been performing country music forever and ever and ever, and it's something that really makes me happy. And then in my off time, I like to fly airplanes around, and that's Jake the pilot. Yeah.
And Mom and Dad live in the Antelope Valley?
They do. I grew up here, and they're still here, and so I kind of bounce around a little bit now, but the AV is definitely home base, so...
Well, I think the travel allows you to show up here all the time, and being on Facebook... people say, "Oh, I'm leaving." I'm thinking, oh, not really. We know where you are.
Yeah,
it's just.
I may not be physically present, but yeah, always connected.
I won't see you at Costco every week, but we'll be around.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
It's pretty awesome.
So, does your carrier? Where do you go? Where do you go in the country?
We fly on behalf of a bunch of carriers. So out of Los Angeles, we fly for Delta Connection, for United Connection, or United Express rather. American Eagle. So we basically fly all the hopper flights, if you will, from LA. Some of them are as long as like LA San Antonio or LA. I'm trying to think what I did last week. I went to Eugene, Oregon, and spent the night there. So kind of all over the place. But the only guarantee in the whole thing is that I will start and end my trip at LAX. Otherwise, the middle's kind of just a big blank canvas.
So you go to Eugene and you get out of the airport and you get to feel the weather and you have a nice meal somewhere.
Yeah.
And meet some friends there, or make some new friends, or find somebody.
It's an adventure. It really is, and I have such a blast. And in fact, in Eugene, I walked down and there's the Voodoo Donut Shop that's there, and so I went there and checked that out because I've heard such good things about it. So
is that the T-shirt you brought me? Was Voodoo Donut Shop?
No, I brought you a Tone Wrangler T-shirt.
Okay, well that's even better.
Yeah, absolutely. So. But, and that's the thing, especially with this job, it has given me the opportunity to not only do what I love, flying airplanes, but I also have the flexibility to continue to make the music that I love, and it's such an awesome ability to be able to say, okay, I'm working this trip, and then boom, I've got 2 or 3 days with the Tone Wranglers that we're making noise and get that out of my system, and then, okay, we're good to go.
A calendar and a schedule.
Yeah.
Man's best friend, right next
Absolutely.
to the dog.
Yeah. I could not do it without the phone, that is for sure. That keeps track of everything for me.
So, you wanted to come by around 4th of July, and
yes.
I think you're just kind of a patriotic person.
I would concur, yeah.
You want to tell me something about what you think about this place we live, or about the people that serve us, or that make this a wonderful place?
Well, absolutely. I grew up in a law enforcement family, so that is something that has always been really near and dear to my heart, is especially at the local level, your first responders and all the people that keep us safe. But I have the utmost respect for those that are willing to put their lives on the line to protect our freedoms. And it is such a cool thing with the country music, and especially at rodeo time. It's just that 4th of July was a blast. We had the professional bull riding there in Lancaster. And that is the only time I really get nervous anymore when I go to sing, because when I sing I have a blast, and it's nonstop fun. But
Cowboys make you nervous?
Well, singing the national anthem every single time, you get that little choke, you get choked up a little bit, and especially at 4th of July, it was sold out. So the grandstands, it was like 10,000 people in the grandstands, and then all kinds of people everywhere else, and then it goes, and now, ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Nelson with our national anthem. And a little bit, and I'm like, all right, keep it together. Like, don't look at anybody. But you get through it. And it's one of those. Once I start singing it, I've done it so many times that it's not a problem. But you definitely get that little choked up feeling. You see everybody, from the little kids that have their hand over their heart to the old timers, trying not to cry themselves. So it's really cool. It's definitely a big honor to be able to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So you're not worried about like doing an encore of the national anthem, or adding to it, or embellishing it, fixing it up a little bit?
And that's something that I've always really liked. And Molly Wineland, who I sing with all the time, we do it as a duet. which is kind of unique in that. But we do our best to just really give an honest, no frills performance of it. And I shouldn't say no frills,
Well,
but
the way God wrote it.
correct, yeah, and not overdone and all these runs and crazy like that. We try and make it really pretty and simple and powerful, and people seem to really respond to that. So
Yeah, it's kind of like the flag. Just leave it the way it is.
exactly,
It's fine.
exactly.
So
if it ain't broke.
how does the chamber benefit what you do? How does the chamber benefit you?
Well, it's that's the incredible thing about our valley is how interconnected we all are, and being with the chamber, we're able to connect with other members, connect with people that are looking to to have us come out and play their party or whatever the case might be. So it's it all comes back. It's a very symbiotic relationship. We all depend on each other out here, especially. And so it's so cool that we actually get to be part of that process and of the machine, and it's good stuff for everybody.
Yeah, you're right. So when event planners are thinking, they go event, theme, venue, entertainment,
Absolutely.
and so you're part of the mix.
Yes. Yeah, if someone says, I'm throwing a country bash somewhere. Okay, well, where are we going to have it? Oh, well, we'll have it here. And, that country band, the Tone Wranglers. Yeah, they're good. All right, we'll take them.
and hopefully, I know you've done some comp stuff, but hopefully there are more and more paying gigs.
Absolutely, and there's always a place. I mean, there's so many places that we support out here. One of my favorite charities is Saddle Up,
Right.
Therapeutic Riding Stables.
Yeah.
They are awesome people, and if you haven't heard of them, I encourage you to Google and check them out. But yeah, this valley is just so supportive, and a great place to be from, and to live here and just enjoy it.
Well, I gave you an AV Nice wristband some time ago.
You did.
It still fits. You haven't worn it out. That's amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
So I think the next AV Nice piece is we're going to go out to Saddle Up and have a chat with those folks. That's amazing work that they do.
It really is. It's tremendous.
Jake Nelson, thank you for coming on.
Well, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Happy trails to you.